Welcome back to Built Together. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed last week's kind of change up family fun challenge. This week got away from us. We had doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, kids interviewing for summer jobs, so we were running all over the place. So we lacked on content. So we're gonna make it short and sweet. At least keep you guys in the loop on wins, flight changes, how we're feeling. Brianna, start us out on wins.
Wins. Okay. I had quite a few wins actually. Last week I started off really strong. In the week I had over 500 pounds on my leg press. I had 10 total plates on my hip thrusts with drop sets and ISO holds and all the things. Another thing is my legs are visibly changing. In the mirror, I can see separation in my legs, which is huge because I've only ever had just like quad and a little bit of hamstring. So it's nice to see sweep and teardrop and things like that really forming. So huge wins for me this week. Super excited.
And wins on my side, scale went up another half a pound. And with that, my waist stayed down. My shoulder and chest measurements moved slightly up. So happy about all of that. Uh, Workouts felt good for the most part. I've actually had some grindy workouts. And I guess one of the wins would be some adjustments as we added in dextrose powder to intro workouts. And my first time I took too much based on ChatGPT's recommendation and almost threw up. So a little bit too much of an insulin spike. But yeah, those are my big ones. It's just the scale and measurement movement.
Yeah.
Outside of that, let's touch on conversations with ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. So I had to take Bulgarians out of my split. I was doing them, can't remember if it was 2 or 3 times a week, and my adductor on my right side was not tolerating it. I think I might have maybe stretched it a little harder than it needed to be, and so it's given me some feedback lately. So it agreed with me. It said, "Let's take those out." It wanted me to do reverse lunges, and I actually tried those today, and my adductor said, "No." So I swapped those out, and I decided to opt for, like, a step up weighted instead, and those were much smoother. So learning to adjust based off of your body's feedback has been huge.
Yeah. Mine's kind of been going down rabbit holes, similar to what she does daily, but I kind of started questioning mine, showing it more pictures of how I want my physique and asking if it's attainable. And sadly, the ultimate goal, it's like, not without a bunch of gear. I don't want to do that. So we're going to see. I'm patient. I'm hoping the physique turns out how I like. It talks about the golden era physique measurement, proportions from shoulder to waist. And it says that I'm going to be able to get to that point by September. So I'll just have to see if I'm happy with the look. So
That's the hard part. Bodybuilding, you're almost never happy. You always want more. And so that's where the body dysmorphia comes from.
yeah. And I think it's just getting to that point where you go over comparison to your previous self rather than comparing to where you want to be
Yeah,
and seeing that growth.
that's
So
absolutely true. I already think I'll be much happier with my leg development. I've always had just really long ligaments and arms and legs. And so it'll be fun to see size stack.
and our legs definitely have been growing noticeably.
Woohoo!
So what we'll do is I think we need to get some updated comparisons from week one to where we are. So we'll do that next week to see if you guys can see any visual changes since you don't see us every day like we see ourselves. And then both of us this will be cool. Um, the first week of June is telling both of us is when we should see what they call it. I can't even think of what ChatGPT was kind of telling us that where the flip of the switch will be like, oh, physique is noticeably different.
Week 12, is that what you said?
Well, it's like the first week of June. So it's like 10 to 12 weeks out from right now is when mine's saying.
Oh, for me, that's the final week of my push phase,
Yeah.
which is my surplus. And so that's when I've done 20 weeks of bulking. So I'm probably going to be a little fluffy, but I should be lots bigger by then. And then I'm going to start a cut. So, yay.
And I don't think I have any cut time. I have some like maintenance time to kind of kick back and tighten up, and then another push. So we'll see if I get too fluffy. I'm gonna have to change things up because my goal is to be 10% at the increased weight by September. So if
Yeah,
I'm not trending, we'll just have to make adjustments as we go.
for sure. One other thing that's cool is my chat says week 10 to 12 is kind of when the visual will catch up with what's going on in your body. So, like right now, you're building the muscle fibers and the density and things like that. But once that kind of phase two comes in, that's when your measurements catch up with what your body's doing. And so I think that once, probably about next month, like 4 weeks out, we should really start seeing changes visually and measurements go up. So that's cool.
Sweet. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. Unfortunately, we'll get some more stuff in there for next week. Some workouts, show our strength gains from week 1. So, yeah, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe and follow if you're not.